Hey y'all, it's Melissa here. Sunshine, how you doing? First Soul Sunday message since the rebranding. I'm really excited about it. So hope everybody, I'm going to go ahead and this is pre-recorded, so I'm going to go ahead and get started on it. I hope you are having a beautiful Sunday. I have my phone stand now that I figured out how to work with me here, bear with me. We're starting from the ground up here with the channel, so I don't have all the bells and whistles yet, but I'm working through it. So how are y'all doing? I hope you all have a beautiful Sunday and make it a beautiful Sunday. Find the good in it. Find all the blessings and be blessed. Got my glasses on this time. I feel like I look a little smarter. Have that librarian look. Anyway, I'm being silly, but the message for today is something that is really, I think, needed in the world and needed internally with people right now, especially with everything that's going on with transformation, metamorphosis, retrograde, all that, is forgiveness. And I think we all go through life and go through situations where we don't have grace with ourselves, first and foremost. We beat ourselves up over situations or things that have happened in life and don't give ourselves the permission for forgiveness for ourselves, first and foremost. I can go ahead and be a testimony here, and I know I've repeated it and discussed it subtly because I'm a private person, but the first part of this year was really it needed to be done, but at the same time, there's been waves of where it's like, I knew better. Why did I do this? Why did I do this? Why did I do that? Why, I'm smarter than that. And I don't think it's actually, looking back, I don't think it's actually an issue of where we really need to question our intelligence or question our judgment, because at the end of it all is where we need to remember and be cognizant that there are life lessons to be learned. And because of that, we're going to go through experiences where we do things that we typically wouldn't do. I'll be perfectly, we're going to use Soul Sunday, this Soul Sunday, a little bit using an example from me personally without going too deep into it, because I don't want to let some specifics out. But I pretty much operate on having a good moral compass and, doing the right thing and living right and doing mostly healthy choices. Well, beginning of this year, that definitely flew out the window. I was doing things that I typically wouldn't do. I was drinking more. I was smoking weed. I was doing some things that I typically wouldn't do. Taking edibles. I was doing things that, I'm not a huge drinker. I rarely drink anyway to begin with, actually. And then I don't usually partake in any of the other substances. But the first part of this year for me was a bit on the debauchery side, and I obviously needed to learn a lesson. And sometimes the lesson is that you think you are in an environment that you need to be in, and then you have your intuition deep down nudging at you that you don't belong here, even though you're telling yourself, oh yeah, I belong here, this is great, but at the end of the day, that that's really not really where you are supposed to be. So things happened and escalated and got into a not so great space. And it all crashed and burned. And I spent a lot of hours, a lot of days really beating myself up, thinking you were smarter than that. You knew not to get wrapped up in that. You knew not to believe the hype. You knew not to believe that person. You knew deep down that you were having to do too much to get reassured. You were doing too much to check up and see. You were too worried. You were too concerned about what was going on beside you. And that should have told me that this was not a good situation. You shouldn't have to do that. If the situation, if things are on the up and up, you shouldn't have to do that. So, of course, I kept ignoring it, and it crushed and burned. Big time. Big time. And to where a few people were really hurt out of it. And the point that I'm trying to make is that you can't continue to beat yourself up. You can't continue to stay stuck in situations where you continuously are hurting yourself and you're beating yourself up, and you know you're literally punching yourself like a punching bag emotionally. You can't do that, and you shouldn't do that. You've got to learn grace to forgive yourself and know that it's not you. It's not always you. It's not always something that you did or didn't do. The problem is that we deal with people. The big thing is when somebody deals that's on a more high vibrational level, deals with somebody that is lower vibrational level than them, then that's where it can get stuck and tricky and get messy and get extremely toxic. Because you have a high vibrational person that typically wants to see the good, wants to do the good, wants everything to be good, will work hard at it, and then, you know, and own up to whatever may be wrong or to fix it. Then you've got the low vibrational person who won't take accountability, that doesn't want to change their ways. Their sorries or manipulations masked because they don't want to do the work, and they're not sorry. They use the word as a band-aid in order to continue that behavior, which means it's manipulation, of course. So in turn, it can create a really messed up headspace for the other person, making them guilted, making them feel like, oh, I did something wrong. Oh, I was wrong. I should have done this. I wasn't right for them. I wasn't good enough. Fam, loves, I'm here to tell you, it's taken me a couple months to really get the sludge out from that situation that I was in. It really messed me up. And people that know me really well and were around me during this time period especially know how hard this hit me, and how much I would cry myself to sleep, and how much I would agonize over it all. But a dear friend of mine pointed out this past week, because we were talking about it, and he had said, don't keep punishing yourself. Don't think it was you. Don't think it was something you did or didn't do. Give yourself grace. And the problem is sometimes even us that are on the receiving end of the hurt still want to take the blame, take ownership, take some sort of accountability, when it should be shifted to the other person or people. I mean, sometimes it's a multiple thing. It's not just one person. But because the higher elevated are good people, I mean, and then sometimes it is lower, because typically there's different sets of the higher elevated. Some higher elevated just totally fly and bloom and just fly away from the situation, and they're good. But then there's some that are more on the empathic side and on a different level and on a different element than some others. So for the ones, if you're out there hurting over somebody hurting you, as hard as it is, let it go. Forgive yourself first and foremost for feeling like you're not enough, you didn't do enough, you didn't make it work, you were in the wrong. No. Release that. Release the hurt. Forgive yourself for thinking all these negative things about yourself and all the coulda, woulda, shouldas. Give yourself grace. Pick yourself up and move on and move forward. And most of all, know your worth. Don't ever let anybody treat you the way that you shouldn't be treated. Always bring yourself into situations, though they might be uncomfortable, that allow you to see how you're supposed to be treated and how you're supposed to be respected and how you're supposed to be loved. It may be uncomfortable and it may be scary, and you may be like, what the hell? I'm not used to this. But allow yourself that treatment. Forgive yourself. Yes, we need to forgive other people. And I know that there's so many people out there that are like, but Melissa, I can't forgive them. They did this or that. I understand. Believe me, I understand. But you've got to let that ego part go. Because you know what? There is somebody a lot higher than you that they're going to have to answer to for what they did or didn't do, how they treated you, or what they didn't do right. If they didn't do right by you, they have somebody a lot higher that they're going to have to deal with over it. And keep yourself good and not seek revenge, not seek retaliation out of anger, out of hurt. Release it. Let the universe deal with that person. And let the universe bring you what blessings that it's supposed to bring you. Because once you heal and forgive yourself and give yourself that grace and that permission to know that it's not you, that sets the stage for the good to really start elevating into your life. Because as you keep that cloud of negativity and that ball and that fear and that anger, it's going to keep you stuck in a loop, and you're going to be guarded, and you're not going to let the good things come in that should be coming in. As long as you stay stuck in that mentality and you don't take those steps. I know it's hard, because I know as a collective, I see it in comments, I see it in lives, I see it when people are talking, I see it. There's a lot of hurt people out there. And they're wondering what they did wrong, why this happened to them, why that happened to them, why this didn't work out, why that. Don't always think it's you, that you weren't enough, or you didn't do anything right. You need to shift that 180 and think of it, I was too good for them. I was on another level than them. I was on a different path than them. You don't need to go back and be like, it was a me thing, when it's a them thing, and it's their problem that they're not taking accountability and responsibility for what they should do and what they could do. That is the main thing that you need to focus on, knowing it's not a you thing in a negative way. You need to shift it. You need to forgive yourself and give yourself grace and not beat yourself up. Because honestly, at the end of the day, we're all here to learn. We're all here to grow. And when we learn, it's not always going to be unicorns and rainbows. It's sometimes going to be some of the most painful things that you could ever go through. They're not going to be easy to go through. It's not going to be easy. There's going to be a lot of tears and hurt and screaming, and just, it's not going to be easy. But it's growth. And I can't help but feel that part of what I went through, especially in the past first half of the year, it's taught me a lot. In prior situations I've been in, it's taught me, and they weren't the best of lessons. I mean, the experiences, but I'm moving forward. And if I can move forward, you can too. We're all in this together, and we're all here to help each other grow and evolve into the best us as possible. So I ask you to take some time today. If you're in a state or in a place where either in the past or you're currently going through some sludge that you need to take care of and clean out, shift it. Shift it to, okay, yeah, that didn't work out. I learned what to do, what not to do, what I deserve, and I'm going to be okay moving forward, and I forgive myself. I'm not going to sit here day to day and continuously be an emotional punching bag to myself. Realize that there's other people that were involved in those situations that you were in. And realize there's accountability that needs to be held. And it's not you. You're only responsible for yourself. You're only responsible for how you respond, how you react, not react, say. At the end of the day, you did your best. The only thing that you were guilty of potentially was loving somebody. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with it. But if it's not healthy, or it's not being reciprocated, or it's just a horrible situation, know that you love somebody and that you're capable of that love, and move forward to somebody that's willing to give you that love that you deserve. Make sure that you're filling your cup first and foremost, and getting yourself built up and ready for that elevation. I can tell you what's funny is that when I started the first part of this year, I honestly felt that I'd found my soul tribe, that I'd found the tribe that I was going to spend the rest of my life with, and they were going to be there always. No. Because of the situation, some of those people are still not around, or left with it. So that told me, okay, I get it. But once I started really working through it and talking it out and healing and growing, meeting some really wonderful people that were unexpected, I've met a whole ton of new people that have been really, really beautiful to be around, and made some really good friends for life out of it that I was not expecting. Point being, you have to allow it. You have to open yourself up to it and go into it and have an open mind while you're healing. That you're going to be open to new experiences and meeting new people. Some of it might not work out. Some of it you might have them around for life. And I'm lucky that I've met some really good people that I was not expecting to meet, that have become really good friends and amazing parts of my life that I wouldn't trade. So you have to be open to growing. But most and foremost, as I said, it starts with forgiving yourself and giving you that grace to heal, and giving you that grace to acknowledge that you may have made some missteps, but it's okay. And then look at what the positives were and take those with you. And if there was anything that wasn't positive, you know what not to do, or you learn from it. We're all in this together. Everybody has dealt or is dealing with something that they're angry over, and they want somebody to talk to them, or they want answers, or they want clarity. They want another chance. And a lot of it, the theme is closure. But honestly, I'm going to be real. Not everybody in life that's hurt you is going to come back and apologize or make it right. Sad but true. Or they'll never acknowledge that they had a problem, or that they had issues, or that they hurt you. So I'm here to tell you a real talk. That disrespect they gave you, that was the closure. The ghosting you, that was the closure. The hurtful things they said to you, that was your closure. Them walking away from you, that was the closure. You're not always going to get a verbal closure from people. So you sometimes have to go back and I'm not saying dwell in it. You need to go back and remember what that person or people did to you. That was your closure. That's the end. Take it and know that's it. And that should be it. Anybody that does that, just end it. You're going to be fine. You're going to be beautiful. You're going to be amazing. But you need to give yourself that grace and that opportunity to go back out there and glow up and shine. Because you'll be blocking some major blessings until you do. Take the steps. It's not going to happen overnight. But take the steps. If somebody's not being good to you, I don't care if it's a relationship, I don't care if it's family, however, if somebody's not being good to you, give yourself the grace and permission to know that you did what you did that was right, and move forward. And let the universe come what may with that person. But move forward and receive all the abundance and blessings, because you may have given it out to the person that you were supposed to be giving a lesson from. All that's going to come back to you tenfold or thousandfold. You just have to trust and believe and release and move forward. And you may be crawling at first, but as you keep doing it, you're going to stand up like a baby. The baby starts crawling, then they start stumbling as they start walking, but then they keep growing, and then they can walk, and then they can run without stopping, tripping, falling. They walk in their confidence. And you can. We all can. We just have to be kind to ourselves and be patient and work it through. But give yourself grace and forgive yourself first and foremost. I love you all. And I know, believe me, I know, and you can see it. I know it's hard. Oh, I know it's hard. But if you do it, the rewards and the blessings in life will open so many more positive doors for you. But I love you all so much. That's the Soul Sunday message for today, is just to forgive yourself. Let it all go and flow and fly like a butterfly. There's a lot of sunny days ahead for us all. So I love you all, and you all make it a beautiful week coming up, and I love each and every one of you, and I'm sending you so much beautiful energy. Y'all take care, lovies.